family. How are you? Okay, I'm gonna let you know right now. Maybe I don't have to let you know. Maybe you won't figure it out. If somebody figures it out and asks me the question, I'll be honest. How about that? So we are going to start off with asking for some sweetness. I got 2 messages. So somebody's concerned about their father or their brother's health. The message is the health is going to improve. Don't give up. Don't give up on them. Just in regards to the health, okay? The other message is, I heard, you've got the skills, pay your own bills, okay? Now, I'm getting unsecured debt, consolidation. So it doesn't mean if you're to not give up on the health of a father or a brother, it doesn't mean that you have to support them, okay? You've got the skills, pay the bills. If there's somebody that is undergoing health issues, challenges, the health, it will improve. It will improve as long as you don't give up. And I'm gonna look. I gotta find my incense holders. I don't know where I put them, so I end up putting them in my plants. You're gonna be protected in any situation, okay? That's the message. You're gonna be protected in any situation. It's okay. I'm gonna give you your items to choose from first. And there's a variety. I find this interesting. Okay, so this is, I was packing up my stuff because I was, trying to decide if I was going to Sedona or not. And it was kind of a good thing to do anyway, because I kept getting from Spirit, go through your stuff, right? Get rid of the old odds and sods and organize. And like I said, I ended up throwing away things that at one time I thought were important, and now I realize they're really not, right? So while I was down there, I found something pretty amazing. I found what was really cool was that I found an envelope from a friend in Wisconsin that they had sent me. Actually, it wasn't from a friend in Wisconsin. It was from a Facebook follower in France who is an artist, and she sent me a painting of, was it a charcoal drawing of myself? And but what was interesting is the envelope was the address that I was supposed to be going back to in Wilson Canyon in Sedona. So I thought, wow, that's a trip, right? It was from like what? How many years ago was that? 7 years ago? And while I was in there, it was just a bag of stuff, I guess, that I had kept that I had with me when I moved to Wisconsin, so it didn't get lost when everything was stolen from my storage unit. And I found pictures, which was really cool for me, because I was the keeper of the family albums, and they were all stolen. And it was really sad for me, but I found, my daughter gave me this album for Christmas a couple years back with some pictures that she found. Oh, wow, there's Grandma. And what I found my son's baby book, right? Baby's the first year of his life. My son is the one who doesn't speak to me, right? He's in Canada. And I mean, everything I wrote down, God, so many strange, I haven't looked at it yet, but it's the memories, right? My son has always been an artist. And what's interesting is the tiger totem is a totem that's been very prevalent for me for the last while, the tiger. And look what I find. The tiger. The tiger gets to be 12.5 feet long. Tigers live in Asia. Tigers are good swimmers. Some kinds of tigers are Siberian tigers, Bengal tigers, and the white tiger. Tigers are meat eaters. They eat deer and other animals. Ooh, message. They live in woodlands and grasslands. Tigers are endangered. Endangered. The tiger is the biggest cat. The males have feet twice as big as the females, and the tiger is the most... What was it, Devin? The most... He puts a little... Oh, it got torn. What was it, Devin? The tiger is the most... DA/ and then it's ripped, and then GORS. Cat. Dangerous cat. He didn't know how to spell dangerous, so cute is he. And then I found snakes. And he drew the snakes. And he spelled it S-A-N-K-S, and teacher said, they're not snacks, they're snakes. Puff adder, remember the adder came up for me in the reading a while back? A sluggish hunter, the puff adder lies in wait for small prey, which it kills with its poisonous fangs, 5 feet. So a puff adder, I'm getting messages, puff adder, okay? Lies in wait for small prey, kills with its venom. Boa constrictor kills its prey by wrapping the victim in the strong coils of its body until it is suffocated or crushed to death. Boomslang, the tree-living boomslang, is an extremely poisonous snake. It normally uses its venomous bite on lizards, frogs, and birds, size up to 6 feet. Grass snake. The grass snake swims well, hunts fish and frogs in woodland rivers, as well as mice on land. It is one of the commonest snakes in Europe, size up to 3 feet. Why am I reading it all? I don't know. There's a reason. And my mother's baby hair. Frances Lation, 2-year-old, her hair. So I'll show you my natural hair color. Same as my mother's. Wow, Mom. Strawberry blonde. That's why I've always kind of kept these streaks. So I dye my hair really dark, right? But that's my mother's baby hair, 2 years old. She had more of a reddish than I did. By the time, well, it's because the sun hit mine, and when the sun hit it, it turned to white. Frances hair. Isn't that amazing that I have a piece of my mother's actual DNA in my hand? That's amazing. I don't know what that means to me, but her ashes were stolen. And then this is Ding Ho, the only Chinese food drive-in, Pender Street, Vancouver. This is where my mom would go on a date, probably with my real father. It meant something to her, clearly, because she kept it, right? Sandy, and she put Joyce on it. Sandy Pugh, Joyce. She kept it. It meant something to her. So, memories, right? So, and then for myself, the friend I spoke to you guys about, the friend that told the lie, and I've never spoke to her again, and she obviously I got to detach from that. She ended up marrying our best friend's husband after our best friend died. Ooh, my real father is in here. The one visit I went out to his home with his wife. So when I was going through these pictures, I found pictures of my friends at work, and pictures of me when I was like 15, when we went to Hawaii. Clearly my parents were in a fight by the picture I'm looking at. My dad looks pissed off. I was miserable the whole time I was there because everyone was miserable. Oh my God, my Auntie Elaine and her Shelties. My mom and dad are getting along in this picture, it looks like. Me with a ridiculous hairdo. My mother's best friend's daughter and I, Becky, that's us at the pool. She's the tan one, even though I lived in California because I didn't lay around the pool. Obviously, I was not really concerned about my body, or I'm standing there with my gut hanging out, right? I think I was probably 11. But, so looking through, and what I wanted to share, I think this is what it was. This is my little sister, Rita, that died when she was 16. So it's always my mom and dad, and my mom's best friend, and her husband, Uncle Alan, my little sister. This is in Catalina. Why am I telling you guys all of this? This is, I think it's, here's my dad at the shop, my mom, very proud of him. Memories. So it's just memories, I guess, right? They always went to Hawaii, my parents. This is my little sister with our cat, Fooey. I wanted to show you a cute picture of my sister. These aren't really great pictures of her. In Hawaii, everybody wearing leis. We'd get up in the morning and pick the flowers to make our own leis. Anyway, memories. There might be something in here that I said. Oh, and then I found this book. This book was what I wrote down, child support, right? Mark and I decided Sunday would be the day for visitation. His choice. Blah, blah, blah. So this is what we were going to do. I wrote down every time he sent money. what happened when he came, how my mother interfered. I can see what I wrote down in here. He tried, you know, he really tried. My mother caused a lot of problems. And then I found poetry that I wrote, only 3 feet tall. I sat today in a puddle of tears. She'd broken something I'd worked on for years. At least it seemed that long. Anyway, maybe it had been only one day. There's always something being cracked or broken. She knew I was mad without a word being spoken. She got her punishment, was banished to her room, leaving me with my treasures all broken and strewn. I heard a little sound. Who did I see peering out at me? A little girl just turned 3, standing there. She wasn't in her bed. With a determined look, a high lift to her forehead, she was checking me out. Was I still mad? After all, she wasn't really being bad. She was just being curious. So terribly smart, making a treasure of her own, a labor of the heart. These pretty little stones are perfect, you see. If Mommy knew how much I liked them, she'd give them to me. That's probably what she thought. In her busy little head, so eager to create, she just went ahead. Popping them out wasn't as easy as she thought, and all of a sudden, the necklace broke, where it ought not. The next thing she knew, I was standing there with a look on my face that said without a word, beware. God. So we're back to the part when she streaked down the hall to see if I would welcome her back after all. There she stood, only 3 feet tall, with her heart of a lion, feeling not at all small. That mischievous face staring back at me. My heart turned to butter. I got tears and weak in the knees. I could no longer stay mad, not at that little face. There was nothing left of my necklace, not even a trace. But I'm not so devastated after all. Not when I'm blessed with Elise. Only 3 feet tall. Wow. I need to read this to my daughter, right? Reflections. It's the time of year for reflections, for sorting priorities and making corrections, always positive and forward going, never stopping, never slowing. Marriages that last are now so few, yet your love for God has seen you through. There's so much more we've yet to do till we're in a paradise, a chosen few. Wow, to see our Rita, who in death does sleep. We wait in the promise God will keep. You've taught us the truth and helped us to grow in our love for God and you as well. We want to give back all you've given and more. Just being our parents, we thank you for. Happy anniversary, many, many more. Love, Sherry. My dad. Oh, this is important. I have such a love for my dad, it's so hard to express the depths of my feelings. It would take 1,000,000 words, certainly not less. But I'll share with you a few of his qualities. Then why I love him so much you'll be able to see. He's generous and forgiving. On this I can depend. So if we had an argument, it's quite easy to mend. I'd simply need to say I'm sorry and mean it, you see, for my dad has his principles, just like me. He's just a big pussycat with his genuine smile. If my dad needed me, I'd walk many a mile. It's so easy to please him. I don't know where it went. Wow, where did it go? Not much is required to tell him he's appreciated and you'd understand why he's tired. He works very hard to provide his family with the best. So if you mention my dad, don't put him in with the rest. He's given all he's got, sometimes maybe more. There are times he's shaken his head and wondered, what was it all for? I'll tell you what my dad has done for me. He came into my life when I was 7, you see. Yet no one could begin to take his place in my life. For anyone to even try would cut like a knife. He's always stood by me and encouraged me too. People like my dad, I'll tell you, are few. He showers me with compliments so far-fetched and glorious. His words, you could be a model in our house, are notorious. But the praise he gives is real from him. Writing this poem, my eyes fill to the brim. Is it a wonder I see my dad above all the rest? To the point I thought he could fail no test. But alas, he's human, and he too can fail. But not in my eyes, or too can fall.
But not in my eyes, because he's the best of all. He knows I love him, but he needs to be told. And to be separated from him leaves me feeling cold. So I write out this poem and I pour out my feelings till I see him again and we continue our dealings. As father and daughter, an unbreakable tie for my love for my dad will never ever die. He'd cut me out of his life. He wasn't speaking to me. He did that a lot. My mom is creative and what a quick wit. She was made with intelligence and has no time for a twit. She enjoys the good things in life. Why shouldn't she have them? Her strong, determined nature does rival all men. She's a tough cookie, as my dad would say, and to fight for her children would take precedence any day. She's like a lioness with her kids. My dad once said, if anyone went after them, they might end up dead. She'd be the victorious, caring for her young, so to take on my mom has never been done. There's a soft side to my mom as well. I don't want you to think she's just a tough shell. She's got feelings and emotions just like a girl. And her love for God is like a fine pearl. The feelings are in her. To express them is her trouble. And because of this slight flaw, the problems become double. She's trying to work through it and has come quite far. Still, she's little and feels she must drive a big car. Look at my face. To thwart all those who don't know her like me, she will not be run over. That just cannot be. Yes, my mother is strong and took care of the three of us till my dad came along, someone she knew she could trust. Yes, he and little Rita would round out our family, giving her a chance to be the mother of three. Her love for small children is one of her strongest traits. And now that I'm a mother, I can really relate. We have a bond that's different from Greg and Dad. We have a motherhood bond of which I am glad. Yes, my mother is special. She has a deep love for the most important one, God above. And now I have told you of my very own mother, so you can see why I simply would want no other. You know what I'd like now and then? To be treated by my husband like his very best friend. Not an acquaintance or a buddy that he calls for a beer, but a very special person he would hold very dear. I don't know what I'd have to say or not say to make him feel that wonderful way, but wouldn't it be nice to feel his caring rather than hurt? And arguments always to be airing, to feel appreciated, told he is proud of the things I've done, that he's even been wowed by the talents I have. I like to share with him my own husband, but his approval is rare. It's sad to see that we've drifted apart, that we weren't ever very close from the very start. But do we have to stay here in this stagnant place? Can't we jump on the bandwagon and join in the race? Maybe work together. It's not what we desire to rekindle this flame, to strengthen this fire of a real kind of love, that kind that will last, not an unpleasant marriage. Let's leave that in the past. No one says it'll be easy to start anew, but I'm willing to try again. How about you? I will tell you that he was never willing because he was never wrong. Home of warmth and treasure. Let me tell you of my Auntie Elaine, whose home I could visit again and again. I never tire of the beauty inside. Each time I return, my eyes open wide. With each new treasure, I'm filled with wonder, reveling with Auntie in her latest plunder. En route for our visit, it feels a sin to try to suppress my fast-growing grin, anticipating the new little treasures we will see, or perhaps we'll be lounging and sipping tea, waiting for Mom. Soon she'll be working. She'll be waking. Uncle Alan's in the kitchen. It's breakfast he's making. We know the morning phone call from Mom will come through, wanting, of course, to be included too. She is wishing for the newest kind of invention. She needs her coffee. For her, that's her contention. Can't we find a way to zap her right here? If you could only down the phone line peer, perhaps to Dad's office to jump in the fax, to transfer her here, of genius that smacks, to have the men
To lead, drive the men crazy is not our desire, yet of lounging and sipping tea we never do tire. Yes, Mom is a consistent connoisseur of beauty like us, and if the same kind of treasure, she too makes a fuss. But alas, my mother, we must bid adieu, for you aren't really here. It's simply us two. My mom, this is my mom's best friend who ended up being well, she was my Auntie Elaine, and I loved her. I loved being there. My mom was jealous about that. These are amazing. I think I need to leave a voicemail and read that poem to my dad. Gosh, there's so many messages in here. Wow. I've something to tell you, to let you know. Feelings and thoughts we don't always show. No one is perfect, this is true. But if we look for an example, we'd find one in you. Your love for God is ever on display. Your lives are to serve Him each and every day. You're always in service. And at the Kingdom Hall, if it's a meeting night, Dad, don't bother to call. No one's at home, that's for sure. You're both at the meeting, finding the cure to all of our troubles in this hectic life, a place to find peace from worldly strife. Yet you encourage us all, this you must know. Such fine examples, you helped us to grow in our love for God and you as well. Something we don't always show you, something we need to tell. So here's a small verse to help you see some feelings and thoughts that have come to be. My son. He's a brilliant one, that son of mine. He's creative and artistic. One day all will see his light shine. He's quiet and gentle and doesn't ask for much, just a hug or a smile, a tickle and such. He's much like a puppy, so eager to please. He has many fine qualities. I'll just list a few of these. He reads exceptionally well for one just in grade 2. And if you ask him quite nicely, he'll draw a beautiful picture for you. One with fine detail and all full of humor. If you've heard of his talents, it's not a mere rumor. We don't place a burden on him, push him to succeed. To expand in his knowledge, he has his own need. To excel in most areas comes to him from within. We all have it in us, the ability to win. But since he is young, he's not learned he cannot. Such negative feelings are something we're taught. So don't ask me not to praise him. He's not like the rest. For I am his mother and I know him best. Oh, wow. These are things that need to be said to our families, and these are things that need to be remembered about our people in our lives when life changes and disappointment happens. Oh, I don't have waterproof mascara because they need to test it on animals. Okay, so it's the memories is one item you can choose from. Wow. My girlfriend Linda, who died, she had 4 boys, twins, and 2 others, and my daughter was one of the age of one of them, and my son was older than all of them, so he felt like they were kind of, you know, out of his league. So that's my son in front, not impressed, and my daughter right in between the 2 boys, happy as a clam. Christopher, CJ, Sean, twins, Devin. Okay, that's one item. The next item is the happy item. I got this when I was in Wisconsin. This is a Zen board. It's magic. So you write it with water, whatever you want to say, right? That did say, I love you. And then when it dries out, it's gone. And then you can write again. So the magic, it's a good board to be given. I was thinking, you know, if you need to say something, a lot of times you'll, you know, if there's something you need to release, you'll write it down and then you light it on fire. And you ask that with the ashes as it rises, it takes it away. And we ask Archangel Michael to turn it into pure white light. So if there's something that you possibly need to say, you could write it on this board and then it would just disappear. It's out. Or maybe it's another more positive way is, it could be a positive affirmation, right? I look like Morticia now because I've been bawling my face off. You write it down and it's kind of like you put your wish out, right? And then it disappears, but it's gone out into the universe. The other item I found was Pinocchio, the wooden boy. He's been in my dreams. I dreamed of him 7 years ago, little boy who told lies. He was wood because his emotions hardened. So there's Pinocchio. And then there was the lion. So what do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4. So the last one is the golden lion with the green emerald eyes. So the green emerald eyes, I mean, immediately, unfortunately, I heard jealousy. But why do they have to be jealous? I loved this lion when it was gifted to me. Emerald, to me, green would be healing, love, and growth. Okay, let's do it that way. Okay, those are your items to choose from. You don't have to say you love me. I'd walk through fire for you. Just let me adore you. And I'm looking at Archangel Michael in Sedona, and it's literally a flame. I'd walk through fire for you. I wanted to look at this for the message that I got for the father or the brother that was undergoing challenges health-wise that someone's very worried about. So what I was shown, don't give up, their health will improve as long as you don't give up on them. Love is very powerful. In our faith and belief in someone, I know you can do it, right? I believe that you can do it. I know the deck we have to use because of that message, but I just want to see if there was something else that, this is Archangel Raphael. So obviously I'm calling in Archangel Raphael, I'm calling in Archangel Michael, I'm calling in Archangel Metatron. I just heard Archangel Jophiel is present. So Archangel, thank you. My landlord got me Rocky Road ice cream and cat food, which it's the same thing, right? Because it's my cat food. Thank you.
Keep the bag.
Thank you. How funny, we're talking about, wait till you see the card that flipped out. Nutrition. I already got this morning from Spirit. You know, we'd like to see you eating more fresh fruits and vegetables and drinking more water. So somebody needs to, okay, so this is the message. The one that is having the issues, they need to consult a nutritionist. What they're eating will help them. Okay, see, there you go. Yes is the answer. Are they going to get better? Yes is the answer. Your feelings are accurate. This is the barometer of truth. And you see this one literally looking down at this baby. That's Archangel Raphael, right? And then the last one is caffeine free. So no coffee. I ask that you cut cords of attachment to caffeine so that I may honor my body's natural energy rhythm without chemicals. So caffeine, I guess, maybe comes with other chemicals, right? All right, that's what I wanted to say. So yes, I was correct. I just wanted to have that. Okay, so now that I have no makeup on except for black smear under me, I did have another item that I loved most. This is I love this. I got this when I was in Sturgeon Bay. And it's funny because I've always thought that it was a raccoon. But I don't think it is. I think it's a panda bear. Why is his head so floppy? He's not holding his head up. He needs to hold his head up. He needs to be proud of himself. So I'm gonna put this one with the memories. I love this. I love this one. So that's the memories. And my daughter couldn't say Pinocchio, so this is Pinocchio. 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 What does it do? It does something. What does it do? Oh, its nose must pop out. Pinocchio. I don't know. It's got a little thing on the back, and it probably used to speak. Yeah, probably. It's got a little battery. I could open it up and put it in there. How cool. I'm going to. So he used to speak, but he doesn't now. He's told lies. So this proud lion prancing along. This looks kind of like a little one. It's got a big mane, but it's a little one. And then the Zen, the Buddha, it's called the Zen Buddha. I also found this. Appreciate everything. Today's lesson, on this day, affirm, my day is perfect. Appreciate everything and everyone in your life without doubt or expectations. Your goal, to learn the way to set change in motion, is to bless and feel grateful for even the most difficult parts of your life. That would be very hard to do, wouldn't it? But she's holding on, she's got her arms. How interesting. Two things come to mind. At first I saw an egg, which is a new beginning, but now I see a light. All right? Hold on to the light. Okay. I'm going to clear this energy. I don't feel bad. I mean, I think tears are very positive, right? Obviously that was, I'm going to do that. I'm literally, I don't know how I can do it. I don't know that my dad, he's not like he talks to me, you know, and I would like to have him, maybe I'll record it and send it to him. Okay, so we ask, oh, so it was Archangel Raphael that, that said that she was here. The non-canonical Archangel of wisdom, understanding, and judgment. Ah, justice is here. Judgment. Karma. The flaming sword. Archangel, the Archangel of beauty. See the beauty in all things. Let's do that, right? Because we were going to appreciate everything. So Archangel Raphael comes forward. I'm not going to look at the other duties. Because obviously every archangel has many duties, but she's here to assist us and see the beauty that's around us, within us, with all of us, right? My dad, who's not speaking to me, but look what a wonderful father he was to me. Obviously, there was a lot of things that weren't good. You know, but we've all got that, right? There's a lot of really good things too. And I'm not going to focus on the negative things. I'm going to focus on the good things about all of those people. So here we go. We're going to ask that everything that's not positive goes into the center of this bowl. We're asking our Father to fill this bowl. I'm asking the Father to fill me right now. Please fill me with unconditional love. My crown is open. Archangel Michael's watching over it. Archangel Metatron, can you see if there are any things that need to be shifted? Is there anything that's not? Ooh. Okay, so I literally got a kick like a baby in my belly. So that's my solar plexus. I got a kick in the self-worth. It literally felt like, have you ever had that happen? I mean, if you're not a woman, you wouldn't know it, but to have phantom baby kicks, it's pretty incredible. I've had it before. So it's a baby kick, a little kick in my self-worth. So it was a positive kick, right? I feel it was. So, but obviously there was something that wasn't balanced there, something that wasn't in alignment there. In my center of self-worth, my solar plexus. So, because I asked, is there anything that's not working? Well, my solar plexus, so something's wrong with my self-worth. So I'm not accepting something, or I'm not appreciating myself enough, seeing the light and love within me. So thank you. So he's balancing my chakra. Because if you have one chakra that's out of alignment, all of the rest are out of alignment. You won't hear your messages properly. You'll respond. You won't respond, you'll react instead of respond. Am I allowed to just stop for a second to... I can't. I mean, we all know I haven't been getting any sleep, right? But I don't really feel like I should have to look so hideous. That's not nice to say, Sherry. All right, I don't look hideous. I just wanted to get the... Now I have no makeup on, so it is what it is. This is what she looks like when all the makeup's gone. Okay. I'm filled with unconditional love. We ask that this be filling with unconditional love so that anything that goes in it from your side, my side, anything around here, my landlord's sick, right? So the energy, I sage the whole house, but if there's anything else that needs to be cleared up, we ask that it go inside because this is 24 karat gold, which is self-worth, right? And it's the laughing Buddha. So we're going to be happy with this and we're going to mix it all in. And as it comes out the sides, it's coming out pure unconditional love. Here we go. Okay, so the deck that I just heard was, well, I heard a card actually, and it's because I was thinking about the person, the father or the brother who's not been well. And the message was, death shall not take him. That's what I heard, so that's the deck. The Divine Circus Oracle. I was just literally showing another card deck that I didn't know. So a lot of times we come into this life and we've got issues that we're dealing with that have really nothing to do with us in this life. It has to do with what we came in from a past life. And that's what came up, was past life oracle. So they're gonna probably show us here why things have been a certain way. Maybe, you know, I came in with a poverty mindset because I've always, I had a past life as, I mean, I've always been a healer, but I was in a monastery. I didn't have anything. So I had a money block, right? Okay, we're gonna start with the memories. I've chosen the memories for sure. Correct for neutrality on all levels. For those who chose memories, past life. I had no idea that was gonna happen. Wow. Correct for neutrality on all levels. There's a lot of us that parents, as they get older, you know, a lot of people have elderly parents that are very crotchety and very mean and very abusive, and maybe you've had a rotten parent all along. I don't know. I didn't have a rotten parent all along, you know? You heard what I had. I've had bad things happen, and he threw me out of his life 4 times. But there was a person that meant everything to me, right? All right, correct for neutrality on all levels. And I like that my mom came in. For those who chose memories, wow, your love life. Wow. Love life, look at the rose. All right, okay, we're gonna do this again, you guys, because past life, love life. So obviously, so the first thing that comes to me, and it makes sense with me and my twin soul for sure, you've had a past life together with this one. You have had, in your love life, you have been connected to this one in a past life. That's why the feeling is so strong. Most likely more than one. Or there is also something extremely painful that happened to you in your love life, in a past life, or maybe more, which has caused you to become overly cautious in regards to love. It's about healing your whatever heartbreak that you've had. But it's first and foremost the validation that the one in your past life, I mean, the one that you're so connected to, and why are you so connected to this one? That you definitely, this person was very prominent to you in your past life. That's why. There's no mistaking that bond. They don't have to be a romantic partner. I know that my twin and I were brother and sister in a past life because we had the same grandmother. I think we were brothers. Maybe we were cousins. I don't know. But we definitely were family. But the purpose is to connect with that one romantically in this life. So that's nice to know, right? Your purpose is to connect with them romantically. Now, I did want to do something. Even though I took so much time, I wanted to move the gazing ball. I don't know if it'll work because we don't have a lot of light. So what I'm seeing an eye closed. The eye opens up, and as the eye opens up, there are tears pouring down from the eye. Song right now, you set fires to my forest and watched it burn. Sang off key in my chorus because it wasn't yours. And then a snake shows up. I saw the signs and I ignored them. Rose-colored glasses set fire to my purpose, and I let it burn. You got off and I heard it when it wasn't yours. We'd always go into it blindly. What I'm seeing right now is a snowy owl flying. Wow. It's just looking at me. Snow owl. I have a snowy owl behind me. Snowy owl is the silent flyer. They make no noise when they fly at all. I don't know, I can't recall, I think there is a totem for the snowy owl. The white owl represents your dreams, your ability to achieve them, new beginnings, moving forward with everything you have. Talks about psychic ability, illumination, inner knowing, sacrifice, family, clarity, legacy. You took 2 months to replace us like we were nothing. Made me feel like I deserved it. Shapeshifters, they take human form, animal form. They have night vision. They see the unseen. I'm Celtic, I'm Welsh, and in Celtic tradition, the shaman used these owls as their eyes. They saw through the eyes of the owl. In Greek, Athena, she's the goddess of wisdom, and that is the owl as the symbol. They also, the Native Americans, call it the night eagle. It's connected to the moon. The Arabians considered it as a symbol of death, but it's not the death. It's the death of something and the beginning of something new. So, of course, owl, always owl intuition is wisdom. I mean, intuition, wisdom, seeing, change. But the white is the color of purity, of innocence. It represents light, heaven, brilliant truth, clarity, spirituality, brilliance, perfection, protection, illumination. Illumination, to me, and innocence and goodness comes first when I think of the white owl. Symbol of endurance. It represents big dreams, and you've got the ability to achieve these dreams. There will be a new beginning, a moving forward. You will have illumination. You have had and made sacrifice. You will leave a legacy, because the white owl is about prophecy and legacy. You should see the sky. It's the fulfillment of prophecy. Sky is the color of this card right now. Love. So it's encouraging you to move forward and finish as the hero that you are. And some of us don't see ourselves as heroes. So you're not seeing yourself correctly. Song right now, I wish somebody would have told me, babe, one day these would have been the good old days. I wish I'd put that bottle back on the shelf. I wish I'd not finished that drink. I wish I'd asked her out when I had a chance. I wish I hadn't cared what other people think. Next message. Someday soon, your whole life is going to change. And you'll look back at these good old days, right? Wish somebody would have told me, babe, one day these would have been the good old days. Small club in Minnesota, the snow outside. Now look at where we're at. All grown up. We lay in our beds and we used to dream about who we'd become. Couldn't wait to get older. Couldn't wait to be something. Now that we're here, wishing we were still young. Those good old days. I didn't have a lot of good old days, actually, as a young married person. So I'm looking forward to the best ahead of me. Maybe you have had that same kind of experience. Spirit saying it's coming, right? The Duke of Shadows. The Duke of Shadows. Things are not as they appear. If you look at this Duke could be a man, it could be a woman. And what are those big blobs behind there, right? They look like the bags under my eyes right now, lack of sleep. The Duke of Shadows. So that is the message, is that things are not as they appear. The number is 14, which is temperance, which is self-restraint, right? You holding yourself back, you restraining yourself from something. So right now you're being asked, I'm curious, it's funny that we got this with memories, something, so I thought it was a raccoon, but it's a panda bear. It wasn't what I thought it was, right? Because I was gonna say, it's interesting that it didn't come up with Pinocchio, but when the Duke of Shadows comes forward, it's about helping you figure out the truth from a lie. Because right now, half-truths seem to be the full truth of what you see, and it's not the truth. That's a lot of truths upside down, right? So basically the light is going to shine and you're going to understand what those blobs are. Right now they just look like blobs. I can't believe how tired. I mean, obviously it doesn't help that I've got black mascara under here, but my gosh, so tired. So something's been set in motion. And Spirit is asking for temperance. They're asking you to be temperate. So restrain yourself. For me, obviously, I'm being told that in regards to what's going on in my life because I'm exhausted. My body needs to sleep, right? So I've been finally sleeping at night. I got a great night's sleep last night. Well, not great, but really wonderful compared to what I had. So this is not to make you worry. This is a positive, okay? This is not to say, oh, well, you know, there's half-truths in front of you, so somebody's a liar and blah, blah, blah. But there's more to somebody than meets the eye. Twin flame obstacle. Know what you're up against. That literally just jumped up on my page. It just kept calling me to look over there. And, okay, so you're supposed to remain curious. I like that. My little girl was curious, and I've always been very curious. There's more to either a person, a situation, an opportunity, than what you're actually able to see at this moment. Spirit says, because I look at this one and I see the magician. And as I say that, the white crane flies by. The white crane is the jack of all trades, the master of none, the one who has the ability to see something when others cannot. And not only can they see an opportunity, but they can make something amazing of it. They dance to their own beat. They don't care what other people think. They are who they are. That is the magician. So this is the magician. And Spirit says we've got something up our sleeve that you don't quite see. You can't quite understand what it is. But there's something that's been growing, something that is healing. And when this one steps forward, apple bottom jeans, it's telling you that you're not able to see the bigger picture right now. So I get this. This is good because we get really frustrated, like especially people like me who have abilities that are able to see into the future and hear and understand Spirit. Why am I not able to see that? Right? Why is this confusing to me? Don't kill yourself trying to figure it out because you're not meant to understand it right now. You have to wait until you get more information. And if there's something that looks negative to you at this moment, don't believe it. Your perspective right now is partial, and it's not your fault. It's not your fault. Quit drinking. I just heard, quit drinking. No, quitting drinking. Quitting drinking. What? They keep showing me Brad Pitt. Okay, Brad Pitt, an actor, him and his wife had a bunch of kids. I'm going there. So, it's not your fault if you don't understand. You can't know what you didn't know, right? You can't be blamed for how you behave if you don't know the truth of everything. So it's kind of like you're standing on top of the mountain and you can see everything in front of you all of a sudden. Wow, right? But when you're down here in the gully, in the valley, between the mountains, you can't see a whole hell of a lot of what's going on, right? So right now, there just seems to be you can see that there's something there, and there's something that's not right, right? It's blob. Somebody's lying, or somebody's pretending, or something doesn't feel right, or I'm not quite sure where I'm going. But Spirit says, keep going, because this is part of the dark night of the soul. You're not quite sure where you're going. Makes me think of in Willy Wonka, when they were on the ride. Remember in the tunnel, and they were all freaking out, and he was saying, faster and faster and faster we go. Where it stops, nobody knows, and he's singing, right? And everyone's getting freaked out, thinking, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Because things were flashing by on the wall. But in all reality, they were just sailing along very, very calmly. It was a trick, right? It wasn't as gnarly as it was made out to be. It was a trick. And all of a sudden, they ended up in the most wonderful place. They ended up in the heart of the factory, right? So you're being told two things. First, that you're going to find out something, and whatever you're concerned with, your perspective is going to be happier. It's going to be more positive. You're going to be more informed. And second, there's going to be a twist. Something is going to shift, and it's a surprising twist. You're not going to see it coming, and it's funny because I don't even bother anymore. I used to think, well, I know because I'm getting information. No, I'm not going to see it coming either. So don't even bother trying to figure it out, right? But whatever it is, you're going to get another piece to your puzzle. And maybe you'll have that piece that slips in is going to help you solve something that's been causing a blockage. What did I say? There's a blockage between the twin flame obstacles. Know what you're up against. Okay, that's a message for me. It's going to reveal itself soon. So in order for you to allow yourself to relax and allow this to happen, what I like about this deck is they offer affirmations, and you know I love affirmations. So, just as day follows night, out of darkness comes the clarity of light. I am shown all that will help me at the perfect time and in the perfect way. I know everything that is helpful for me to know now and every day. So when you need it, you'll have it. Okay. Correct for neutrality on all levels. For those who chose the Zen, it's called the Buddha board. The Buddha board. Okay. Come south of the border with me. I love Ed Sheeran. Okay. My heart turns into a mouse all of a sudden. Mouse is the details. The devil is in the details. How interesting. There's a little drip and I want to see what design it makes. So for those who chose the Zen or the Buddha board, correct for neutrality on all levels. For those who chose the Buddha board, now I'm seeing Ganesh, the obstacle remover. And the end of the heart is turning into a string. Dark Harlequin. Wow, Dark Harlequin. So I had something happen this morning, and it upset me, it got me, and got in my head, and I thought, nope, and I deleted and blocked the person. And I don't know if the person was just delivering, unfortunately for them, they were the one that delivered that information, or if they were who I needed to block and delete, but they're blocked and deleted. So it'd be nice for me to know, because I have that happen, and that's a question that I have, great. I don't want to go around being paranoid about everybody, but that got me going, and I had too many names that were involved that weren't good for me, right? So they went. So this is a message for me, and this is a message for you. When you have the Dark Harlequin, it's telling you that something is coming from inside. It's coming from somewhere. There's something that once had to hide, and it's seeking your attention. It wants out. It wants to be free. So you're the one that needs to release it. Whatever it was that was once shut away, you're going to be very happy with allowing this to come out. You're a spiritual adventurer like me. Yay! And you'll go to the edge. God, what did I say this morning about that? Was it in my dream? I kept saying it over and over again, to go to the edge. Oh, I hope it comes back. I've got to remember what it was. But you're going to go to the edge of what you believed and who you believed you were and what you could be. There's darkness around, right? This is the dark Harlequin. I need to change this page because they keep popping things up in front of me and it's distracting me, and that's what they want to do, right? Don't be distracted. So there's parts of you that you have not yet to discover. Parts of you have yet to discover. When you're feeling uncertain about something, when you're feeling uncomfortable or you're doubting certain things about yourself, even when you're nervous, you still want to know what it's about. I want to know, right? So that's kind of a cool thing about you. That's the wildness in you. That you're a force to be reckoned with. I want to know. It might be scary, but I want to know what the hell's going on. I'm not gonna freaking stick my head like an ostrich in the sand, right? I want to know what the hell's going on. So basically, the problem is right now you've come to a place where you don't know. You don't know what's happening, and you don't know how to work through it. You don't know really what you're supposed to do. How am I going to get through this? I don't even know really all of what's going on with me, right? But again, here's 2 messages in a row that you can't know what you don't know, right? And so then when you don't know, then you're feeling a little uncomfortable or awkward, and then things surprise you. Wow, I'm seeing the Queen of Spades. Remember on the mountain, I said that the whale was, the Queen of Spades is backed up by the whale, or was the whale? But it was, I always called it the King of Spades, and all of a sudden I called it the Queen of Spades, and here she is. So the Queen of Spades, you're growing. There's going to be surprises that happen. And if we're awkward, it's kind of like we're in Willy Wonka's tunnel in the dark. You can't see what the hell's coming, right? Am I supposed to be this confused? Am I supposed to not understand what the hell's going on, or why things aren't making sense? And things that I thought made sense all of a sudden don't. All of a sudden, a bat just flew by. A bat just flew by. That makes perfect sense. A bat. I hardly see them here. I see them when I'm out walking, but just flew by my freaking window. So the bat, the night guardian, it lurks in the dark with senses on high alert. It makes its presence felt in your life. It means that you've got to prepare for major transitions. So where we're at, right? We don't know where the hell we are, what's going on. Am I supposed to be, so uncertain? And the answer is yes. Don't be afraid to let there be unknowingness. But you're still willing to dive in, right? There's something that's healing. Obviously, when I brought that up, I didn't expect all that to come out. That was healing parts of myself, probably anger that I had towards my dad, right? It reminded me of how much I loved him and how much I am like him. He groomed me like him. I did it myself. I made it my mission to be like my dad because I was so proud of him, and it didn't happen until I was quite a bit older with 2 grown, well, not, how grown were my kids? They were halfway grown, and my dad fell off the pedestal that I put him on. I thought he was perfect, and he fell, and it shattered my illusion, right? Which is good. I shouldn't have put him up on a pedestal, but that person still was entitled to all of those wonderful things that I saw. People make mistakes, right? So right now, Spirit wants you to experiment with things. Experiment with things that you might not have before. Things that you might, do things that you might normally not have done. Be willing to allow things to change. Let everything change. If it's for the better, let it change, right? Everything. So detach, let it go, surrender. And expect the unexpected, because that's what's coming, because this is coming from inside. This is coming from our soul. Our soul wants this to happen. So dark Harlequin of wisdom and grace, of unconditional love, help me now be open to grow into all that I can be. Help me liberate the wildness within me, for in the shadow of my hidden self, there's something beautiful that wants to be freed. The magnificent me, once concealed in a light of love, is now revealed. Ooh, I like that. I'm going to the bat. The bat has a special meaning. I mean, a special few messages. In order to transform this situation, you must talk about your feelings. This is the second time I got that today, so that's why I said what I did, no doubt, right? Tell a friend how you feel. I literally got that in my reading with someone. That was a line I gave her. You need to talk to someone. Tell a friend how you feel. So is there somebody that you need to say something to, like I just said, right? Know that the process you're going through is connected to your dreams coming true. Even if it feels uncomfortable, stick with it. You're on the right path. You're on the right track, says the bat. The bat sees in the dark, right? We're in the dark right now, but there's sonar. Oh, I told her also, when you go to have your meditation time, I said, put on, oh, I'll do it now. Put on whale and dolphin meditations. Song right now, I want something just like you, right? I don't want a superhero, I want you. So I'm gonna put on dolphin, and I said they'll talk to you, and you won't know what they're saying. You don't need to. You're being guided, and you're being downloaded from the whales. So put on this, because it's the same thing as bats, right? It's the sound and their sonar, radar that goes out. So I'm gonna put that back on, and I said dolphins. Dolphins came up again today several times, and I said the dolphins know how to play, right? Whenever I see dolphins, I just can't get away from my bags under my eyes. I feel like putting glasses on. The dolphins, when I look at a dolphin, I know it's about playing. You need to play, right? You're working too hard, or you need to play to manifest, but more right now is, I've been listening to this 8 hours of whale sounds for deep underwater, for sleep and relaxation, right? But I said to her, dolphins. Dolphins, so there's dolphins and whales singing. I like that. And then there's healing songs of dolphins for harmony of inner peace. So which one are we supposed to have, Spirit? There's alpha binaural beats for study, meditation, deep sleep, sleep background, meditation, spa, delta wave, relaxing, deep inner peace. This one, just this playful one. Whales and dolphins, miracle meditation music, heart chakra. I'll give you a few. Relaxing for stress, soothing music for meditation, healing songs, harmony and inner peace. But what I came to was just the simple one, and it's the dolphin. Dolphin sounds and whales singing in the ocean. That's it. Just let them sing.
It's so magically soft and comfortable.
So we'll put them on in the background.
The comfiest match.
He's got such a happy little face. That's what I said. Dolphins, you know, they're friendly. They're helpers. They're the sea puppies, best friend. So if your life's a mess right now, that's okay, right? It's okay. The messier the world it is, the more amazing the transformation is about to be. So that's it. So for those who chose Pinocchio, Pinocchio was created by a man who wanted a boy so bad that he made this little boy, and the little boy came to life. And the little boy got caught up with some kids, and they got talked into going somewhere. They thought it was a really good deal, him and his buddies, but these guys were tricksters, and they took these boys to Never Never Land. Wow, Dark Harlequin came up again, so maybe the Dark Harlequin did that to you, right? Tricked you into believing that you were going somewhere good, but you weren't. And they were held there as prisoners, and they were made to work for these crooks. And all he wanted to do was go back to his father who loved him. In that dream, I saw that I was hidden in the father's house, the one that I loved. He hid me in his father's house. And he went everywhere trying to plant these trees. Everywhere he went, he was unsuccessful, and he had so many troubles, and he was so tired, so tired. And his father found me in the house, and I thought, oh, I'd be in trouble, but I don't know what happened, how we both together watched the one that I loved, and eventually he was across the street at a gas station. We saw him, and he looked up and saw that I was standing there with his father, and he thought, oh my God, I'm gonna be in trouble because my dad's found her, right, where I hid her. And he came across the street, and he was so tired, and he fell at the feet of his father, and he was 5. He was lying at his father's feet. And when his father picked him up in his arms like baby Simba, he was a little boy. And the father said to him, "Don't you know all I wanted was for you to be happy?" And the little boy was so tired, and he finally allowed himself to rest, and he put his head on his father's chest, and his father wrapped his arms around him, big bear hug, and then he took him into the house, and I followed after them. Is this your real father, or is this your heavenly father? Don't you know all I ever wanted was for you to be happy? But what the father said to me when this one was going through all of these difficult times and I was watching it, I said, "Please, it's enough, stop. Stop him from having to go through that." And he said, "No, he has to bow down." He showed me in many different ways, and it's basically surrender. Surrender. Allow me to help you. You have to bow down. You're not a one-man army. That song, oh my God, I need to say it again, and you guys are gonna make me cry. Say what you need to say. Okay, here we go. Gosh. Say what you need to say, John Mayer. Here we go. Better put them in. Okay, we'll start at the beginning. Why is this not working lately? It's like I'm asking my computer to do something and it's frozen. Mercury retrograde is already hitting me. It's not doing what I'm asking it to do. It's like literally not doing what it should do. There's no reason it shouldn't do this. Wow. Why are you doing this? Mercury retrograde's the only thing I can think of. I get it the week or two before so that I can lose my mind quietly while everybody else is okay. And then when everyone else is losing their mind, I got it together. Okay. It won't allow me to do it all. But anyway, take all of your wasted honor, every little past frustration, take all of your so-called problems, better put them in quotations. Say what you need to say. Say what you need to say. Walking like a one-man army, fighting with the shadows in your head, living out the same old moment, knowing that you'd be better off instead if you could just only say what you need to say. Have no fear for giving in. Have no fear for giving over. So have no fear for giving in. I don't want to give in, right? I don't want to be the one to cave. I don't want to be the one to make the first move. You better know that in the end it's better to say too much than to never say what you need to say again. Even if your hands are shaking and your faith is broken, even as the eyes are closing, do it with the heart wide open and say what you need to say. You need to say something to your dad? Steampunk Princess. Okay, this one always fascinates me because I don't know if you guys can hear our dolphins singing. It's kind of quiet, right? They sound like a car. They sound like traffic. I'll turn it really loud for a second. Listen to this. You hear the chattering? But it sounds like traffic. So they're taking me back to the bat, and they're telling you to, clearly there's a significant change, obviously, but it's what we've been talking about that's happening, right? It could be on a physical level, it could be on a spiritual level. Well, it's definitely on a spiritual level, emotional level, whatever it is that's going on. But there's something in your life that no longer serves your higher calling, right? It could be a job, could be a relationship. So you're supposed to follow through with the ideas that come to you, the epiphanies, the thoughts, the gut reactions. Pay attention to them, the hunches that you get, even if they don't make sense. And it doesn't matter if they make sense, because in all reality, it's not logical. It's spirit that's working with you. It's also telling you to let go of your ego, which is that song said, let go of your ego, right? It talks about renewing your thoughts, like this one, right? About appreciating and everything. Let go of your ego. This is like love your enemies unconditionally. Remember I said just because somebody is not well doesn't mean that you have to work for them, stay there with them. But it's like, I love you and I release you, right? I thank you for your part in my journey. But you don't ever want to wish ill on anyone else. That energy comes back at you. So it's about nurturing our own self, our own growth, which at times can mean allowing our fears to overwhelm us, because a lot of people run from what makes them afraid, right? But we have nothing to fear because it's not real. Fear is an illusion, just like in Dr. Willy Wonka's factory. I said doctor, it means something to somebody because I thought of Dr. Dolittle and Willy Wonka. They crossed over, right? You don't have to fear anything. But what I noticed about this is she's wearing a ruby, right like my ruby, right in the middle of her third eye. Passion. The number is 7. The number is 7. No, 777 is my number, but 7, it alone. You're on the right path and the outcome will exceed your expectation. It's a sign that divine magic is supporting you and opening doors of opportunity. Okay, so you've got the number 7 and passion in your third eye. So what is your passion? What are you passionate about? Red is, I mean, even her head is in the shape of a heart, right? But this is it's supposed to be like a magnifying glass, like a microscope that you look through. So they're talking about appearances can be deceiving. And along with the Duke of Shadows, the Duke of Shadows said something wasn't as it appeared, right? And when the time was right, you were going to get something good. And this is the similar message, that when the time is right, your intuition is going to slice through and see the truth. It's being held back for a reason. You'll know it. You'll know it when it happens. And when you see it, you need to trust it. And don't try to make sense of it. Don't try to talk yourself out of what you see, what you get, what you pick up. And sometimes it's just a flash. Like it's like something flashed through your head. Like I said, doctor, right? Or like certain things, I got a flash on the farm. I got a flash. So I'm holding on to that. I know what I was shown about something. So even if you only get like a fleeting second of that information, trust it. Don't talk yourself out of it. It may change the way you look at things. It may change the way you look at everything. And you might be going in one direction. It might set you on a different course. And you might find yourself understanding that you have the ability to do something or accomplish something that you didn't think was possible before. Or that there's a change that could happen that you didn't think could happen. So again, there's more to something or someone than meets the eye. Look closer. What's going on? What are you already picking up? Like for me, what did you already pick up, Sherry? I already picked up something. I did. So trust what I'm getting. And it's it could be very startling. It could be very shocking. So get focused on what matters the most to you. Don't waste your energy worrying about what's going to go wrong, what could go wrong. Hold on, I'm hearing something. Children playing. Children playing and laughing. Children playing. Okay, so what could happen? Oh, children playing. Play your hand. Play your hand. Play your hand. Children playing. play your hand. Okay, so when the time is right, something that's very confusing is going to come into focus. You're going to dial it in. You're going to dial it in like that, right? And what you need to do, or what you need to not do, is going to be crystal clear, like a ruby red crystal clear. So right now, we're going to set our intention, right? We're going to set an intention. Normally you take a clear quartz crystal and set an intention, but today we're using a ruby. And we're gonna set the intention. My intention, imagine this being the ruby in your eye, over your third eye. My intention is clear. I see all I need to see. I free myself in my heart and my mind to look beyond the surface of things, to witness the deeper reality. And then sit. Let's get comfortable. Sit in in a comfortable position and drop your palms face up on your lap. Relax. Breathe in. Breathe out. Close your eyes. Breathe in again. Breathe out. And then say, the unconditionally loving eye of my heart shows me the truth in the matter of whatever this issue is in front of me. In the matter of, my heart shows me the truth. With gratitude and relaxation, I receive the insights I need for understanding and resolution. According to divine grace and divine timing, so be it. Okay. Affirmation. The eye of love in my heart and the eye of light in my head show me the truths most helpful for me to see at the perfect time and in the perfect way. I feel relaxed and I'm comfortable. I'm trusting in what I see when I see it. It's not going to bother me. I'm good with it, right? It's meant to happen. Okay. Correct for neutrality on all levels. For those who chose the lion, the little Leo. Okay, I just got a flash of that lion who ran over the field and the farm. So for those who chose the little lion, and they kept showing me Brad Pitt, right? Brad Pitt kept popping up, and they talked about Brad Pitt's daughter. Brad Pitt had married an actress and had one child, but adopted a whole bunch of kids. And they kept showing me him, and then they would show me the daughter. Wow. Okay, so the littlest lion. The littlest lion. This little lion has jewels in its tail, jewels on its feet, jewels in its hair, jewels on your tail, jewels on your feet, jewels in your hair. Now it's complete. Wow, that's like a freaking... Jewels on my tail, jewels on my feet, jewels in my hair. Now it's complete. Okay, so that's like a freaking spell. The littlest lion. The littlest lion. I don't know why I keep hearing that. The littlest lion. Jewels in my... Oh my God, there's a movie. Leo, the littlest lion. Okay, this is part of it, I guess. The littlest lion is a Leo. The birth of 5 lion cubs, the first born at the zoo since '94, but the smallest of the cubs, Zuri, faced challenges from the start. The world herald's carol tells how the littlest lion of the litter survived and thrived in a special family. The littlest lion. hell is this? So it's leading me down a path that goes nowhere. It's leading me down a path that goes nowhere. Okay, let's see what comes out. The littlest lion is leading me down a path that goes nowhere. And then I get, this cat looks like he's about to drop the hottest R&B album of all time. This littlest cat's got a beard. Oh my God, the Duke of Shadows popped out again. So something that looks, something that's not the same. Something that is not the way it appears. Littlest lion. Cunningly clever I am. I help you discern the truth from a lie. Half-truths may seem to be whole, yet in the shadows, information is yet to be known. When the time is right, the light shall be bright, and confusion will give way to understanding. The littlest lion leads you down a path that goes nowhere. Pinocchio and his friends were promised to be taken to a fun house, a place that would be, they could have all the candy they wanted and all the toys and all the pleasures on that island, but they got taken there and it wasn't what it was. They were forced to work for them. It led them down a path that wasn't, led them down a path that went nowhere. The littlest lion led them down a path that went nowhere. Correct for neutrality on all levels. The littlest lion. A child that grew up with a special family. A cat that's about to drop an album. Cat has a beard. Cat's eyes are green. Cat's eyes are green. Cat has a beard. Would you ride with me if it's meant to be? Correct for neutrality. Wow. Would you ride with me if it's meant to be? Correct for neutrality. So I say correct for neutrality. It was something my mother said. Correct for neutrality. It's to correct me. It's to keep me neutral so that I don't allow my own thoughts, feelings, fears, whatever, to interfere with, like, say, doing a reading, right? So correct for neutrality. I just rhymed. When I rhyme, it's my higher self talking. What came out was Pinhead, Punchinello. When I was in school, my best friend Jody and I, who was in my dream last night, that's what we used to say. What a pinhead. What a pinhead, right? How much can you fit on a pin's head? Not much, right? I'm being told to ask for more than the one card, and I've gotten two already. The other one is Clown of the Crossroads. So you're at a crossroad. You could go left, you could go right. Where are you going? What are you going to do? You might think that you can't do one more thing. You can't fit one more thing in. You've got a lot of ideas. You've got a lot of dreams. Remember that one that's about to drop the R&B album of all time? You don't have enough time in the day to get it all done, right? It's like trying to fit it all on the head of a pin. So then it gets overwhelming. Maybe overwhelming with what you have to do, or maybe overwhelming with the like possibilities or the choices, or like which way do I turn? Which makes perfect sense because the other message was Clown at the Crossroads, right? So I've got all these opportunities. I've got all these options. Somebody's offering, somebody is tempting somebody. And it looks great. It looks sexy. It looks hot as fuck. It looks like, yeah, and don't do it. Don't risk something real for what happened to Pinocchio. Sometimes there's too many choices, right? You get pretty excited about something. You want to try so many things. But basically, Spirit says, with Pinhead, Punchinello, you only need one. You start with one thing. You can't do more than one thing at one time. Everything comes from the one. So you've got a lot of choices in front of you. So you don't know which way to go. You're at a crossroads. So you have to start somewhere, right? Narrow it down to one. If you could only choose one of the things, it's kind of like flip a quarter in the air, right? When it lands on the wrong one, you'll know the right one. So start there, and then everything else will be added to it. You can only put one foot forward at a time. So, and everything takes time to develop, to grow. The rest will happen. You put your seed into the soil, you water it, you wait for it to grow, right? You can't pull it up. There's a prediction. So it kind of goes along with all the other messages. They all flow together. Is that whatever has felt like, look at this one's face. Like, I am not impressed, right? Like, frick, this is overwhelming. I'm exhausted, like me, right? So whatever is confusing or overwhelming you right now, or however, these amazing plans that you have, and you've got these freaking awesome ideas, like that person, right? Oh my, I'm gonna drop the hottest R&B album of all time. Whatever these great plans are that you're imagining, they might just seem too big. They might seem too impossible. You will succeed by taking one step forward. You have to take one step forward. You can't just sit there dreaming about it, right? There may be a lot that you need to do, and you don't know where to begin. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know where to go. I've got too many choices. So then you're being guided to choose one. To get that's gonna allow for you at least to get one thing moving, right? And if you feel like, oh yeah, but this was really important to me, well, it's a sacrifice, but it's only temporary, right? Because everything, it's like, oh, Jack said it to me. What did you say, Jack? Water the flowers. Water the roots, the flowers will come. Water the roots, the flowers will take care of themselves. So Jack said to me. Water the roots, the flowers will take care of themselves, right? You don't have to worry about the flowers coming. They're gonna come. You just water the roots. So simplicity is easy for me. I declutter my mind and I focus on one thing at a time. Okay, keep it simple, stupid. One step at a time. From every day, every moment, I create my destiny divine. From one step at a time. Okay, so we've got Pinhead Punchinello, who, interesting that they would come out with this pretty much the same message, right? Because one is the clown of the crossroads, and one is pretty much, well, maybe you don't feel like you're at a crossroad. Maybe you feel like you've just got all of these options in front of you, and they look freaking amazing, but you know, there's opportunity. Basically, that's what's going to happen, is that if you don't, maybe you don't know that this is about to happen. Maybe you don't realize that you're about to have a bunch of options, right? Because when you come to the crossroad, you got to make a choice about something. You can't continue the way things have been. So something needs to be released in order to grab something better. You can't grab something if your hands are full of the past, right? Something needs to be dropped in order for you to pick something up. It's time to make a decision. And it's telling you that you do not need to stay on that course of action, that the way that you've been living things. It doesn't need to be that way. It doesn't need to stay that way, in that holding pattern possibly that you've been in. And maybe you don't know this, but you're about to break a pattern. You're about to change and shift things up. The life-changing moment is soon to be upon you, because we're seeing it right here. My readings are always accurate, always. They always happen. Now, the issue is that sometimes we think we know what we're talking about, when it might be something different, but it's definitely about to happen, right? Like, okay, you are moving, but you may not be moving there. Or you are gonna get an offer, but it might not be that offer, right? So you just do one step at a time. If a door starts to close, you don't try to shove it open. You just keep doing your deal. You keep going on your path. You listen to your guidance steps as you get them, right? You continue to keep up with the things that you're doing, you know, for now, because that's what you're supposed to do. But there's something that is about to shift. There's going to be a new phase. If you're at a crossroads, you're going to have to make a clear choice. You're either going to decide to see something through to the end or let it go forever. You're going to be patient while you wait for the answer. Maybe you're going to listen to whale songs and hear the sonar messages. it's a rite of passage. It's moving from one stage of your life into another. It's like leaving high school and going, are you going to go to university? You're going to go to college? Or are you going to just start working? Are you going to get married? What are you going to do? Right? Also, the people that, when you make this choice, you're sad because you're leaving something behind that you don't necessarily, that feels bad. Like when you go off to university, you know, parents cry when their kids leave. But I'm looking at two different things here. I'm looking at one that's crying and sad. I'm looking at the other one who really doesn't give a shit. Do you notice that? This one's cold. This one isn't even looking at you. You're sad and you've got a teardrop, but this one's just like, whatever. Resolute. It could be relationships that are shifting. It could be that your friends are changing. You can't take everything with you into your new life. Okay, it's like me when I was thinking about going out to Sedona, right, to do this job. The place is pretty much furnished, even though I don't like the way he's got it furnished and I don't want his pictures. So I would bring my pictures, but I can't bring everything with me, right? And I said, I hate that. Every time I'm in a cool place, like when I was in Sturgeon Bay, I had the most amazing apartment, a Victorian apartment. I loved it, but I had nothing of mine. And then when I was in Sedona, I had this really cool house and I had nothing of mine. And I had to take several trips back to California to pick up a few of my items. So I was like, this time I'm gonna bring certain things, but I can't take everything with me, right? I can't. So what are the things that you do every single day? What are what would make you sad if it wasn't there? What would you miss, right? So be patient as you're trying to figure out, and you need to be courageous as well, because things aren't going to stay the way they are, period. And if you procrastinate, Spirit will just cause a tower moment and they'll make it happen. And if Spirit has to make you do something, it's not as pleasant as if you chose to do it. It's just the way it is, right? You can either decide to dive out of the nest and start to fly, or you can have your mom kick you out. And that could be literal, right? That could be literal. Like, you know, it's time to go on your own. You've got the skills, pay your own bills, right? I'm not carrying you anymore. It's time for you to do this on your own. That might literally be the case. It's time to go out. You have got the skills to pay your own, and then I said pay your own bills, right? And you may be doing that. Maybe that's what you need to do. Maybe this one's crying because you're saying, look, I'm done. You've got the skills, pay your own bills. I've taken care of you long enough. I'm immovable. I'm not going to be swayed by those crocodile tears. Wow, right? So you got to honor yourself, right? And maybe you're mourning something that's passing. Maybe you put a lot of time and effort and energy into something and it just went tits up. Like that. Everything fell on the ground. Ooh, but look what's face up. Lady Luck is on your side. So you got something good coming to you. Someone with the winning 50. Remember, play your hand. So maybe you're just mourning the morning. So basically Spirit says, let go, release it, right? You've got a new beginning coming. You might be excited about it or you might be sad about it, but it's here. So if you're already at the excited place, that's great. If you're at the fear place, I was talking to a client and I said, you know, I'm feeling it in my stomach. I'm feeling like butterflies. And is it good? Is it bad? And I said, I said, well, if it is fear, turn it into excitement because it's happening, right? It's taking a leap of faith into the unknown. And when the timing is right, whoever is there on the other side is going to be there to catch you. Whether it's Spirit, whether it's somebody else, they're going to be waiting for you. So here's your statement. There's one true golden path for me, littlest golden lion, right? There's one true golden path for me, and at the right time, illusion gives way to my inner truth revealed. With patience and peace, courage and confidence, I take a chance and I make my choice. Without regret, doubt, or fear, I choose the way that feels loving and clear. Spirit says you always go, if you hit a block wall, you always go towards kindness, compassion, mercy, forgiveness. You run from judgment, ridicule, blame, anger, right? So you go towards this. What is this? Is there an affirmation on this one? I make my choices from my heart at every crossroads in my life, always finding my way to greater happiness, peace, and pleasure. So everything fell. Everything fell. So it looks like somebody's tower fell, or it's about to. Go with it, because you're not going to outrun it. And it'd be best if you took the bull by the horns and you chose the direction that you want to go instead of being forced to go into a direction. It never works well that way. Is there anything else that I need? Anything else I need to share? If anybody would like help with private readings or dream analysis or anything else I could help you with, my website is www.theangelswhisper.com. Please, if you like the way this reading came out, please click like, subscribe, hit the subscribe button, hit all. All donations are gratefully received. And share the videos so other people can get the information that you're getting as well. Are you melancholy? Interesting. I shared that today, and the whole world shared it. And I said, a collie dog is best friend, loyalty, love, friendship. Somebody's melancholy. They're sad, right? They're stuck in a place of, I see somebody's jealous. If jealousy had a face, somebody's getting attention, the other one doesn't like it. Somebody's feeling melancholy. I said, are you feeling melancholy? Here's big hugs going out to all who are feeling down in the dumps. Hugs, sending self-love. Relax and baby yourself. Self-care is vital. So give yourself some downtime. Give yourself time to relax. Give yourself a little bit of a treat. Make sure that you're getting enough fluids. Understand that Mercury retrograde is coming into effect pretty soon. And those of us that are healers and teachers, we seem to get it early. So be prepared for challenges. My friend Amy just tagged me in a badass looking, I know, Volkswagen. My dad's a Volkswagen high performance engine specialist, right? Volkswagens. And she just tagged me in the coolest post, and I already saw it this morning. How cool are those? Can you see them? I don't know why the lighting's all so weird. Check it out. How fun is that? Hit the road with less than you think you're bringing. Those are so super cool. One of them's got a pop-up. Look at the orange one. It's got a pop-up on top of the camper itself. Gives you more standing room. Super cool. Saw this by the bridge in Lake Havasu City. Interesting. Cool. All right. Make sure you stay hydrated. Downloads do a lot to, there's something it does. We need to be hydrated. Make sure you're getting rest so you don't end up like me, right? That wasn't my fault. That was downloads keeping me awake at night, but I have been getting sleep. So I think I'm going to take my own advice, right? And relax. And I hope you got some messages out of this that are very helpful for you. And I've got to figure out how to send that poem to my dad. All right, I love you guys. Speak soon.